onto YouTube, but it's only my camera that will be put out there. Cool. Hi, everyone. How are we doing? I wasn't sure whether it was going to be me running this session. I'm really happy that it is. So I thought we would begin the session with a little check-in. I'd love to open up the chat box and see how you're all doing. I've got to the end of this week pretty tired. It's been a busy one. It's been pretty hectic. So yeah, I'm wondering if there are many other people out there who are kind of feeling similar. Let's do a little energy check-in. I'll open up the chat box, but also you can do like a thing with your hand. Let's do 5 is loads of energy, feeling refreshed, gonna go into the weekend full of beans, and a 0 on the other scale is feeling maybe a little bit tired, a little bit stressed. I've opened up the chat box. So you can send me a link. You can send it to me either directly or you can send it to everyone on the chat box. I've opened it up. It'd be really nice to see how everyone's doing. Hopefully it'd be nice for me if there are other people who are also feeling quite tired and overworked. No, but and hopefully people do have some energy. Let's have a look. We've got and yeah, people who are on webcam. Let's see the hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we've got a 2, we've got a 3, we've got a 2, 2, 0. No, not 0. It's 1, 3, 3, 1. What have we got? Let's have a look at the chats. 0, 2, tired, but 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 0, 2, 1. 3.5. That's allowed. You're lucky on chat. I don't know how you do that with your hands. 1, 3, 3, 3, 0, 0. Wow, we've got a few zeros, haven't we? 3, 5. Oh, thank you. Thank you, the person with the 5. Wow. All right, cool. Nice. It's nice to have a little check-in. Thanks. I'll put mine at I'm gonna go with 1. I'm not quite ready yet to commit to a 0. I've got 1. I've got 1 level of energy. I feel like it's, you know, in the computer games where you have to like beat a what am I talking about? You know, like fighter games where you have to like beat the enemy and then you advance to the next level. I feel like I'm kind of at the end of the game, like I'm at the end of the week and I kind of like got through all the days and now my energy bar is low. So I don't know, maybe the weekend is the next level where they give you back your full energy to defeat the master boss. Does that make any sense? It's not very mindfulness related, is it? I don't know where I'm going with that. This is proof of my tiredness, guys. I apologize. So, hi to everyone who hasn't met me before or joined a session. We run these sessions 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at this time. I'm in the UK. It is 7:30 in the evening. We are starting to get into winter, so it is nice and dark outside my window right now, and it is starting to get cold. I teach mindfulness on StudyStream as well as in universities and schools in the UK, and we just have this as an opportunity to learn and experiment with different forms of mindfulness and meditation practices for a variety of different reasons. Mindfulness and meditation can help with us to a number of different things, to relax. One reason that we might join these sessions is to relax after a long day or a long week. It gives us the opportunity to just allow anything that might be present, whether it's a lot of challenging or overworked thoughts in our minds or a really tense body after having been doing a lot of things. It allows us to tune into that experience and let some of that go so it feels a little bit lighter. Sometimes we turn up and we have more of a focus on training our minds to be more focused, to be more productive, so we don't get so distracted when things come along that are good excuses to give up on our studies, for example. It's also just a nice way to connect with other people, at least it is for me, to see other people on the screen and to share a practice. Some of the time we finish a practice and I encourage us to kind of just look at the screen and all the squares and just have a moment of appreciation, because I just think that's a really beautiful way to finish our sessions. So what we're going to do today is have a meditation based around letting go of some of those stresses of the week. We have a lot of zeros. We have a few threes, a load of twos, 1, 4, 1, 5. So I think it's quite nice at the end of a week to shift our attention, to give ourselves permission to move out of where maybe we've spent a lot of our time, up in our heads, processing information, planning, and tuning into what the body's telling us. So it's quite a common thing that we do in mindfulness. We tune into the body to see what that has to tell us. And often we find there being a little bit of tension, and we can just give ourselves permission to let that tension go. And often we notice when we do that, things tend to ease up in our minds a little bit, and we can end up feeling a little bit more refreshed and energized, or at least maybe just a little bit less stressed than we were before. So we're going to do a practice where we just allow that stillness to come in, and then we're going to work through the body and notice how it's feeling. This links into how I think we could sometimes improve the way we spend our break times when we are taking time out from our studies, or whatever it may be that we're doing. I notice myself getting in a pattern of taking time away from the screen, from my laptop screen, and straight away using my break to, while I'm doing whatever else, get my phone out and be on social media or check in with other people. And that feels in the moment like a break because I'm moving my attention from one thing to another. But usually what I notice is when I come back to my laptop, actually, I don't feel really hardly any more energized. And I find myself slipping into that pattern and that routine. And it wasn't until I really started to inquire into this and figure out, what can I do that's a little bit different, that really provides that genuine reset, that really helps me out. And I found that creating some space for tuning into the experience of how I'm feeling rather than trying to tune out. And for me, social media sometimes can be a really beautiful way of engaging with friends and with family and keeping up to date with things I'm interested in, but also sometimes I just use it for distraction. And actually when we're doing that, the mind is still working away. It feels like a little relief because it's not on our studies, but it's still working away. It's still looking at a screen. So sometimes what these sessions also are is just an opportunity to just be and see how that affects our experience and how it affects our experience going into the next thing that we do. So enough talking. Let's move into a practice. If you've never practiced mindfulness or meditation before, it's no worries at all. I'm going to guide you and you just follow along. I'm going to begin like I always get us to begin, by allowing our bodies to have a little bit of movement, a little bit of a stretch. So let's notice, where is there tension in the body? How does the body want to move? Would maybe the neck or the face appreciate just a little gentle massage, ease out some of those kinks and knots and tightness. And we already start the practice with this moment of self-care, of just having that moment of, how am I doing? How's the body feeling? Let's give it a little bit of love. Nice. I think a bit of a longer stretch for me today. Okay. Should we just have this as our session, guys? Should we just have a big old stretch session? Okay. So let's bring the body to some stillness and just let it settle. Let it settle and find a way of sitting that's going to feel comfortable for the next few minutes. Whatever that means to you. Just allowing the body to sink down into the chair beneath you. Sense of letting go, of allowing. So while in a way we sink down into the chair, we also notice how we're held up by it, supported by it. Find stability in our posture. So finding a way of sitting that allows relaxation, but also encourages a sense of presence and attention. And if your eyes aren't already closed, you're very welcome to allow them to just gradually shut closed. Just to take away some of those visual distractions around you. And just for the next couple of minutes, bringing the attention into the body, into the place where you notice your breathing most obviously. Tuning into the sensations of the movement itself, rather than any thought about it or image surrounding it. Just being present for the full duration of each breath. The in-breath, the out-breath, the pauses in between. Acknowledging this as a time for yourself. And as you do this, you may notice some distraction, the mind wandering, thoughts of what else needs to be done today. And the practice of mindfulness is not to have no thoughts or to clear the mind, but rather just to notice, be aware of the thinking mind. Just notice where it goes and then bring it back again. And now we're going to shift our attention and slowly scan it through the body, from the toes up to the top of the head and out to the fingers. And as we pass our attention through the body, we're just going to notice how each section feels. No need to rush to change anything. Just tuning into the everyday sensations that you may notice, the touch of the skin against another surface, maybe a gentle breeze, tightness of clothing, maybe some inner tingling or vibrating or numbness. We're just noticing. And as we come to each body part, you may notice just the attention itself and the acceptance of it, whatever we find there, allows some sense of settling, of release. So taking the attention now down into the toes, and just seeing what there is to notice here. As well as the gaps between the toes. And the sensations in both feet. The top of the foot and underneath, as well as the sides. Up into the ankles. Maybe even having a sense with the ankle of the bonier, sharper outsides and the complex joint inside and all the connective tissues that we have there that allows that mobility for us to move around. And as we do this practice, we may even naturally develop some sense of appreciation for the bodies that we have that allow us to do what we do each day. As we move up into the legs, noticing any sensations all the way from the ankles up to the hips. Noticing sensations on the surface of the skin, as well as anything that you feel deeper inside. And if you notice there's any sense of expectation of what you should be noticing or how you should be feeling, remembering that in mindfulness practice, there's no way to do it wrong. There are no shoulds. Just noticing whatever is or isn't there. As we come up now to the pelvis, the hips, and up again into the lower belly and the lower back. And up again into the chest and the upper back. And while we have our attention here, it might be a good opportunity to check in with our posture. Just notice if it's how we had originally intended it to be, allowing ourselves just a little adjustment if that would help. As we take our attention out into the fingers and the space between the fingers. And both hands. The top of the hand and the palm. And the wrist. And up into both arms. All the way from the wrists up to the shoulders. Maybe there's a sense of the outline or the shape of the arms and their placement as they hang from the shoulders and where they rest. As we come up to just notice any sensations in the complex joint that is the shoulders. And up again into the throat and the neck. Noticing how the neck feels, sometimes we can feel some tension here. Maybe allowing the spine to lengthen slightly by tucking in the chin if that feels like it would help. And then noticing any sensations on the skull throughout the head. Any tightness or tingling. And onto the face, with the forehead and the eyebrows and the eyes, the temples, and the nose, and the cheeks, and the chin, and lips. And then taking this attention and zooming out and having a sense of the whole body sitting here with any and all sensations that you notice. And having a sense of the whole body breathing. The breath coming in through the nostrils, down through the throat, into the lungs and belly, and out into all organs and parts of the body. Really having a sense of this body being a living, awake vessel. The oxygen filling it up, bringing in energy. Maybe if you notice that there is some tension in any part of the body, you can imagine or bring this oxygen into that part of the body to open it up, creating a sense of spaciousness. And as you breathe out, allowing that body to, that breath, that air to leave and to soften and relax. The breath comes in, it opens and brings energy. And the breath flows out and allows softness and settling. And just being with this part of the practice for the last few moments. Noticing how it feels to be present, to be with the breath and the body. So with the sound of the bell, we come to the end of the practice. No need to rush to do anything. Maybe just bringing in a gentle amount of movement, of stretch, of massage into the body, just like how we began. Noticing if the body feels any different or your mindset feels any different to how it did at the beginning. And then if your eyes are closed, you're very welcome to open them back up again, maybe even take in some of the faces on screen that you shared the practice with. Just for a moment of a sense of community, of appreciation. And then I'm going to open up the chat box as well. And as always, I'm interested to hear from you guys, how you found the practice, how you're feeling, what you noticed, where your mind was, where your body was. And maybe you can give maybe you could give a score as well of your energy level if it seems to have changed at all. You can report back on that. I will not give up. I will allow you guys to unmute. So if anyone wants to give their feedback verbally, you may do so. Just pop up a virtual hand. Let me do that. Cool, you can now unmute yourself. Okay, we have Beatrice saying a 5. I feel like I'm flying. She says that on the chat. Okay, we have a couple of virtual hands. Let's hear, is it Joanna?
Yes. I'm feeling much better. I've been super foggy headed this week. Really been hard to focus, and I have a project with a blank page that's been staring at me. I think I can focus on it better now. Let's hope so.
Nice, thank you, Joanna. Yeah, foggy-headed, foggy-mindedness and a blank page, that's a tough spot. That's a tough place to be. I'm really glad that, yeah, you feel ready to go back to it. Hannibal.
I don't know why, but my heart is like exploding right now. It's like beating so fast, I'm nervous. But I took my courage and I'm talking. But These mindfulness sessions have really helped me. Like I've had pretty stressful week because of exam session and also fighting with my health issues at the same time. And it's like overwhelming and my mind is like focused on these negative thoughts pretty often. And these mindfulness sessions have really helped me to focus on the good things. And when I first started joining mindfulness sessions, I was like blaming myself when my mind got lost and I took it as a bad thing. But like now when my mind is like focusing on something else or like on my negative thoughts, then I think it as a good thing. Like I do not blame myself now. I take it like as a positive thing that my mind is thinking, at least it's thinking. And I just feel like extraordinary or really like good when I actually notice when my mind is like hopping somewhere else because I'm able to notice it and bring it back. And I feel like it's a really good thing that I've noticed it. And I feel like I've become better with focusing on everything I do actually. And mindfulness sessions also like help me to notice these things I don't normally notice. For example, when focusing on breathing, like normally I don't think about this cold air like coming in and it like turns into warm air. And I don't like notice these things or like I don't hear my candle, for example, like cracking. But like in mindfulness sessions, like it really like has helped my mind to actually work the other way and I hear like this tiny stuff or tiny things that I don't normally notice and I feel like it's really like interesting.
Thank you, Hannibal. Thank you for the courage to speak as well. I know it's not easy to just talk in front of a lot of people. So thank you, and I'm really glad that it's helped you feel like that. I'll read a couple of the comments that have come in on the chat, and then I'm going to come to you. Is it Elena? I'm going to come to you in 2 seconds. Let's just have a little read of what's happening in the chat. Some people have written in. Jong says a lot of clicks and release from tight joints and body parts. That's relaxing. Nice. Darius says, thanks very much for the session. Very helpful as always. Dario from Latin America. Nice. Yeah, I don't have the name here, but it says it's my first time here. I'm really glad. Sorry, a new message came in, so it jumped me out of place. I'm really glad I found StudyStream. I feel so much better after this session and hopefully can focus better once I get back to studying. Well, as always, of course, welcome. If it's your first time, I'm really, really glad to have you here. And well, come back to another session and let us know if it did help with your focus. It will be great to have the feedback. Katrina, it's so nice to join again. This was always been helpful, just like always. I had a hectic schedule from last week as I had exams to take, and now I'm much more calm and relaxed to do my additional tasks and agendas for today and the next few days. Amazing. Thank you. And then one more comment, and then we're going to have a little chat. Hi, Soul. My mind feels at peace and calmer than before. All the rushing thoughts came to a stop, and I successfully completed the session without getting fidgety and distracted, which is an accomplishment for my ADHD brain. So thank you, and I hope you and the seagulls are doing fine. Thank you so much. Great to have another shout out for the seagulls. It's been a few weeks. They were getting a bit sad for the lack of recognition. I'm really happy that there was less fidgeting and distraction, but just to give you kind of a spoiler, it will probably start to feel a little bit fidgety and distracted at some point again in the future for some period of time, and then maybe it will start to feel calmer again, and then things do come in waves, things come and go. So I'm just saying that because I hope you don't feel discouraged. If the expectation now is for just like a super solid focused mind and no distraction and no fidgety, yes, mindfulness can help with that, and it clearly is helping, and I'm really glad. And in time, like it's a process, it can really keep us moving in the right direction with that. But also one of the things that we learn from mindfulness is that things are constantly changing, And it's about understanding that there are always going to be ups and downs, and it's just helping us also cope with the downs a little bit better as well. So it's awesome that it's helping. So I'm just saying, if you have a session where you're back to being a bit distracted again, just remember that's okay. And just being aware of that, that's okay. And remembering how it does help, and it will help again in the future. So that's awesome. Okay, sorry if I've got the pronunciation wrong. Elena.
I'm from the US. You're right, it's Elaine.
Okay, cool.
I really like this practice because I used to attend most of these things in person, because I work in the medical field, and this past week has been, actually this past year has been pretty hard because I'm in the process of still trying to pass my board exam, which is tomorrow, another attempt. So
Okay.
a lot of anxiety, so especially if it's another attempt for you. But this practice made me realize, like, it made me remind myself how important our body is. I'm a temporary licensed nurse. I'm trying to get officially licensed. So you can imagine we need this like reminder that our body does a lot for us, especially with COVID. Like, thank you for offering this for free, versus other places where you have to sign up and pay and wait and sign up again. So thank you for this, and thank you for all of you who are joining it with me. So I hope you guys have a great week, a great rest of the year, and take care of our bodies. Get wasted a little bit, but not too much after exams. So
thank you.
Thank you for this, Solomon.
Thank you so much. Anyone else got some goosebumps right now after hearing that? I certainly do. That's beautiful. Thank you. And of course, good luck with your studies. How amazing to be going into that field and helping people. Like, really, really wonderful. So thank you for the field that you're going into, and helping people too. And yeah, we love running these sessions. So I'm really glad to be able to offer it. And I can see in the messages lots of people saying, good luck, hope it goes well. So yeah, we'll be thinking of you. Yeah, come back next session. Let us know how you felt it went. Cool, guys. We are at 2 minutes past 8, where I am 3 minutes now. So that's the time done. We will be back again on Monday, of course. So come back again for that. Lots of people writing really nice messages. Cool. So we'll leave the microphones open, and you guys can just hang out for a little bit longer if you wish. Yeah, hope you all have really wonderful days and evenings and weekends, and I will see you again